That'll work till you have to change the page.
I know. It'll work for 2 minutes. And then
Who's running this show?
I don't know.
No one, that's the problem.
Oh,
No, we need someone.
give me that gavel.
Can we start early? Can we? Get done early? Brenda, you're such a bad influence.
Thank you.
I know it's what it's right. Absolutely. Good morning and welcome. I would like to call to order this meeting of the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners. If you would please rise, we have an invocation this morning from Ryan McBride with the Catalyst Church, and please stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Let's pray. Dear Lord, we come to you this morning, first and foremost, to thank you for a new day, for breath in our lungs, and for all of your provisions. And God, as you command us to do in 1 Timothy chapter 2, I come before you today to intercede on behalf of this group of commissioners as an authority that you have established. And so this morning, as different topics and issues and policies are discussed, may you guide this group of leaders, giving them grace and wisdom and discernment to make decisions that not only have the best interest of Fremont County in mind, but that also would bring honor to you. May it be so today. Lord, we pray all of these things in the powerful name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell,
Present.
Commissioner Payne,
Present.
Commissioner McFall,
Present.
County Clerk Barr, County Attorney Jackson,
Present.
County Manager Bryant,
Present.
Planning and Zoning Director Koch.
present.
We turn next to the approval of today's agenda. Gentlemen?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve today's agenda.
I second it.
We have a motion and second to approve today's agenda. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Up next is our consent agenda. We do have one change we need to make.
Madam Chair, we need to take number 3 off, which was the assignment and assumption of a lease, off the consent agenda. And with that one taken off, I move to approve the consent agenda.
So 4, 5, and 6 will move up to 3, 4, and 5.
Yep.
Okay, second.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve today's consent agenda with the removal of item number 3, which needs more work before we can put that back on an agenda, and renumbering 4, 5, and 6. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Up next is administrative and informational topics. We have staff and elected officials up first. We'll begin this morning with our county manager report from Sunny Bryant.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So a couple of quick notes. We are currently in the process of working with Eric Parrish to do the cost allocation plan. So it's something we do every year, which establishes the indirect costs for each department. So we had our first meeting with him last week, and we're preparing that plan. Last Tuesday, we had our annual health fair, and it was across the street at the Garden Park building for our county staff, and it was very well attended and I think a huge success. So we're very excited to review that information and see any ways that we can improve that for the next year. The commissioners, the planning and zoning department, the building department, and I attended a tour of the Royal Gorge cabins last Tuesday, and that was put on by Andy Ninus up there, and he's done a wonderful job of making those and building something that I think a lot of people will enjoy. And then last Wednesday, Commissioner McFall and I attended the weed board meeting. The meeting was held at the Florence River Park, and so we were able to see the project that they've been working on this year, and it turned out really nice. And we had the meeting last week with the Public Health Department to get an update on the community health assessment that they've prepared. So they're still doing final information on that, which is coming together well. I attended the Penrose Chamber of Commerce meeting last Thursday, and that was well attended, and it's nice to get an update on what's going on out in Penrose community. And then last Thursday, the commissioners and I attended the Colorado Department of Human Services Executive Directors meeting. And so we were able to get an update on what's going on in the state level. And so that's all.
All right, thank you for that, Sunny. I would like to just chime in on the health fair that we had here at the county last Tuesday. This has been a work in progress, and it's something that we've been working on at least since I came into office. And each year it's changed, each year it's updated and upgraded just a little bit, and we are able to offer our employees a better health fair, because we believe that if our employees take better care of themselves, then not only the county government, but everyone in the county will be able to benefit as a result. This year, our health fair was done almost entirely by St. Thomas More Hospital, and kudos to everyone over there and to their staff. They did a wonderful and amazing, incredible job at very low cost to bring this into Fremont County. And also thanks to our Department of Public Health for organizing and helping to put this on, because it was a really great event. So along with Sunny, I'm very excited to see what our overall results are. So, all right, thank you, Sunny. Now we can go ahead and move into the sales and use tax report.
Okay, so I have the retail sales tax collections through the month of March, and I'll try to make that a little bigger so we can see it better. Okay, in the month of March, we received $376,856, which is up $27,176 from March last year. Year to date, we're up $60,436. The auto use tax collections in the month of April, we received $91,504, which is up $5,330 from April of last year. And year to date, we're up $27,390. In the construction use tax collections, we received $20,807 in the month of April, which is up $7,718. Year to date, we're still slightly down, but as I've explained, we've kind of received a delay in the collections because Canyon City is now collecting the county use tax again. So I think those numbers will be coming in where they should be here in the next few months. The lodging tax in the month of March, we received $15,660, which is up $6,763 from March of last year. Year to date, we're up $8,090. And then in the sheriff's sales tax, on the retail sales tax, we received $251,237, which is up $18,118 from March of last year. And year to date, we're up $40,291. And the auto use tax collections, we received $61,002, which is up $3,553 from April of last year. And year to date, we're up $18,320. And last, the construction use tax for the Sheriff's Department, they received $13,993, which is up $5,267 from April of last year, and year to date, they're down $4,077. So overall, everything is looking very good. Last year we had record numbers, and we're exceeding that this year. So I think things are looking good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Sunny.
You're
Any
welcome.
comments, commissioners? All right. Any other staff or elected official reports? Anything? I would simply like to mention next week is Memorial Day, which means it must be Balloon Festival time here in Fremont County. So there are so many different events that are taking place this weekend with that, mostly taking place out at the Abbey, and I would simply urge everyone to come out. I know it makes for some super early mornings, but you don't have to get up and shower and do your hair and makeup. Nobody cares what you look like because everyone's looking up in the sky anyway. So urge you all to be there for that. And just a reminder, since Monday is a holiday, this building, as well as other county services, as well as city and federal, also will be closed.
I know I'm supposed to fly in a balloon Saturday morning, so hopefully the weather will cooperate and won't mess my hair up too much.
I'm going to run the 5K run, so AMR, you guys be ready Saturday morning, because it goes along the hogbacks and up the old Skyline Drive, so I'm going to make it, though. On a stretcher, but I'll make it.
On a stretcher. And you notice I'm keeping silent about all of the physical activity I will be doing this weekend. So, all right. It now is time for citizens who might wish to address this commission on a matter not scheduled on today's agenda. Do we have anyone? Please come forward.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning. Well, how are you?
I'm fine. Well, I understand everyone will be attending the Balloon Festival,
But please identify yourself.
oh, I'm sorry, Tina Hefner, Penrose, Colorado. We're hoping that everyone will be able to carve out a little time to attend our Memorial Surprise festivities at the Penrose Park on Saturday afternoon. In addition to a chili cook-off, an ice cream social, and a community picnic, we are hosting an event that we hope will spark a lifelong interest and passion in the children of Fremont County and beyond. We're going to be hosting a stick horse gymkhana, and prior to participating in the gymkhana, the children will go through a series of booths. One being a booth will have information from D&K Supply on stick horse nutrition. Mike Herrick will be there to issue brand inspections to the stick horses. Equine Digit Support Systems will put shoes on their stick horse, and we will have Dr. Steve Arnold there from Pueblo West, and he will talk to them about health care and veterinary services for the stick horses. Then they'll move on to the competition. We'll have stick horse barrel racing, flag poles, we'll have a relay, we will also have steer roping, and last but not least, the kids will show their bull riding skills on the top-notch #1 ranked stick bull in Colorado. We'll be awarding prizes for first, second, and third, and we really hope that the kids will learn about horses, and hopefully it will be something that they will develop a lifelong passion for. So hope everyone can attend.
And what time does that start?
Yeah,
It starts at 2 o'clock p.m.
2 p.m. on Saturday at Penrose Park.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that, Tina. What a great event for kids. Anyone else? All right, moving right along, we have no old business to tend to today. We do have several topics of new business. First item is the consideration of a proclamation declaring Family Safety Week in Fremont County from May 29th through June 4th, 2017. We have with us this morning Nancy Bartkowiak from St. Thomas More Hospital. Good morning. And it looks as though she has a friend.
Good
morning,
morning. I'm Nancy Bartkowiak. I'm the Trauma Quality Specialist at St. Thomas More Hospital here in Canyon. I have with me Tom Anderson from AMR. He's the area supervisor for AMR. And we approached Debbie Bell in January concerning an event that we were trying to coordinate for June 3rd from 10 to 3 at Red Park called Safety Jam. This has been an event that has occurred in Pueblo for several years now. This was their fourth year just this last weekend in Pueblo. One of the AMR paramedics in Pueblo actually started this event 4 years ago. They've had great success, so we thought we'd bring it to Fremont County. So we've been meeting since January, since January, many different agencies, the fire department, the police department, the sheriff's office, public health, AMR, the hospital, lots of agencies and businesses in town have been meeting to organize this event. So it is going to happen June 3rd, 10 to 3 at Rudd Park. It's going to have, everybody is going to park at the high school, and you're going to be trolleyed over to Rudd Park, where you'll go to registration, you'll get a passport, which then you go around to the many booths that are going to happen, and we have over 40 booths scheduled already to attend. The more booths you attend, the more entries you get in for door prizes. We have train tickets, we have Monarch ski tickets, we've got some gift certificates for places here in town. This is an event from the very young to the very old. We have booths and events for everyone. There's hands-only CPR training going to be going on that day from AMR. They're also going to have vital sign and blood glucose checks that day for free by AMR. The hospital's giving out helmets, as well as we have the Mega Brain coming, the 16-foot inflatable brain, and that you can walk through the middle and learn about the brain and different diseases and disorders of the brain. We have a life-size operation game that the participants can play. But the first 300 people that come to the registration table actually get a goodie bag, and it's got free stuff in it right off the bat, including a Colorado State Fair pass, a pass to the Ichabod Pool, as well as some of the local businesses have given ice cream coupons and that type thing. So it's going to be a huge day. Flight for Life, I could go on and on with all the different booths and fun that's going to happen. But we approached Debbie about having a proclamation for the week, since this is going to be, I hope, a huge event. So do you want me to read it?
Yes, if
Debbie?
you
Okay.
please would. Thank you.
Whereas emergency services providers respond to thousands of emergencies in Fremont County each year, providing medical treatment, fire suppression, and law enforcement, and whereas many of these occurrences and severity of these emergencies can be reduced and even prevented with proper safety education and/or equipment, along with the education on the use of such safety equipment, and whereas emergency responders and allied healthcare providers in Fremont County, along with many concerned businesses and organizations, feel there is a need to provide preventative safety education and available safety equipment to families in Fremont County, and whereas American Medical Response of Canyon City and St. Thomas More Hospital have brought together allied healthcare providers, fire and law enforcement emergency responders, as well as many businesses and civic-minded organizations to provide safety education and equipment in the hopes of reducing injuries and improve the health of the citizens we serve through the first annual AMR Safety Jam Fremont County event to be held June 3rd, 2017 at Rudd Park. Now, therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Fremont County, Colorado, do hereby proclaim the week of May 29th through June 4th, 2017 as Family Safety Week in the County of Fremont, Colorado.
All right, thank you so much. And I would be very remiss if I didn't thank the two of you for your leadership and for stepping up to bring this to Fremont County as well. I believe that this is going to replace some of the other smaller events that have typically happened throughout the year.
Yeah, it's just a lot of agencies try to participate as much as we can. And we're kind of spreading out, it's getting too much. So we decided just to do one big event and get all of those participants. So we won't have a whole bunch of little small stuff. It'll just be one big event. Hopefully we'll do it every year. And it'll grow and just keep getting bigger.
All right, I think it's going to be a great success. And don't forget, people, everything is free. So, all right.
Now, is there a like a ribbon cutting or something at 10 o'clock to kick it off?
There will be the opening ceremony.
The opening
At 10 o'clock,
ceremony.
We'll have the KC, ROTC. They're presenting the colors.
Okay. I know Commissioner Bell and I are supposed to attend that at 10 o'clock.
We will be there.
We'll be there.
Proclamation in hand.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, commissioners, your
Hey.
wishes?
Make a motion that we approve the proclamation declaring Family Safety Week in Fremont County, May 29th through June 4th, 2017.
I second that.
It has been moved and seconded to declare Family Safety Week here in Fremont County, May 29th through June 4th of 2017. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item is the consideration of the adoption of the Community Wildfire Protection Plan for Indian Springs. And we have with us this morning Steve Morrissey, who is the Emergency Management Director for Fremont County. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Morning.
How's everybody?
Doing
Good.
well. How are you?
So far, so good.
All right.
You've had a chance to review the plan. This plan is for the Indian Springs area, which is north of Cotopaxi. It was identified in a county plan years ago as one of our kind of our worst areas for fire possibilities up in that area for wildland fire. So last year we started this planning process for the community wildfire plan for that area. The plan takes into consideration the terrain, the natural features, vegetation, but also the man-made features, the roads, the houses, how they're set up. And it goes over some considerations of what we can do to improve that area for wildfire mitigation.
Okay, so we partnered with the Indian Springs Landowners Association for this one, correct?
Part of that, and also we worked with the Deer Mountain Fire District up there. Their main, I think he's a captain up there, I'm not sure, Karen, but lieutenant, okay. It's hard to keep track of all those. Who happens to live in that area, so he was very proactive and supportive of this whole operation.
So this is also similar to many of the other community wildfire protection plans that you've been working on. Do you have a number for how many of these you've done now?
We've done about 5, maybe 6. We're working on another one right now for the Chandler Heights area down near Williamsburg. We started out with a countywide overview back maybe 10 years ago, and then we've gone into these smaller plans which provide a lot more detail, and they look very closely at the terrain features, the structures, things like that in those particular areas. it also opens the door for grants to do mitigation in those areas, which, money's always hard to get to. And this kind of opens the door for all that.
Well, yeah, that's the key to that. You have to have the plan in place before you can go after the grants, like most things that, the way government works nowadays.
Right.
So, and the one in West Canyon,
That's right.
that one is really successful. We did a good job there getting grants and boots on the ground and actually getting work done.
A lot of the people involved, we have BLM Forest Service,
Yeah.
State Forest Service, Natural Resource Conservation Service. There's a lot of different agencies get involved with that. And I tend to kick the things off, and they keep it running. So they're really the ones that are doing the majority of the work out in these areas.
All right, thank you, Steve. Anything further? Your wishes, gentlemen?
No, with that, I move to adopt the Community Wildlife Fire Protection Plan for Indian Springs.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to adopt the Community Wildfire Protection Plan for Indian Springs as presented. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Item 3 is the consideration to accept a proposal from Armstrong Consulting for engineering and planning services at the Fremont County Airport for a 5-year term with a written agreement to follow. We have with us this morning our airport manager, Dick Baker, and a familiar face from Armstrong as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Well, every 5 years, we have to go through a review process for engineering services and consulting. So this is the time of the year that we have to go through this. So upon the recommendation of the airport board and myself, we would advise, or we would suggest or consider that we would renew our contract with Armstrong. And my personal comment is that I've worked with them for many years. They have given us a good service, and if we have any problems, we've worked it out. So that's just my personal observation.
And this was actually put out as a bid for proposals, correct?
Yes, we advertised. We only had one other consulting firm that called, but they never did put in a proposal for it. So we had the normal proceedings that we had to go through for the FAA and the state.
All right, thank you. I agree with Mr. Baker that I think Armstrong has done an exceptional job for Fremont County over the years. So just take back to your team our thanks for everything that you guys have done. Thank you. Questions, discussion?
With that, Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the proposal from Armstrong Consulting and Engineering and Planning Services at the Fremont County Airport for a 5-year term, with the agreement to follow.
Second it.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to accept this proposal from Armstrong Consulting for the engineering and planning services here in Fremont County Airport for the 5-year term, and we will have a written agreement to follow. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Up next, we have a request for a renewal of an optional premises cultivation license for an indoor grow operation by C3 of Colorado Springs LLC for property which is located at 685 Highway 115, Unit B in the Penrose area. So Representative Jared Doy? Good morning.
Good morning.
What would you like to say to this board about your application this morning?
We're requesting that you renew us because we feel that we've fulfilled all the licensing requirements except for the 2 that are mentioned, and that we've been a good community partner and have not received any complaints, and we've done our best to be active in the Penrose Chamber, albeit for the last few months we've just done this.
All right, thank you. Questions for Jared before we move on?
Not at this time.
All right, let's turn to our Planning and Zoning Director, Matt Koch, for staff report.
All righty. They did make a complete application for this renewal. I believe this will be their 3rd renewal for this site. Code enforcement did do an inspection of the site, found it conforming to our rules and regulations and our ordinances. We have not received any complaints for this site. Just one question, and maybe you can answer to this. There were some letters regarding some state warnings and such. If you could maybe address those.
We were switching an inventory manager, and we didn't realize that we fell behind during the transition on some of our metric with the store, and we've worked with the state and metric, the state authorized inventory management software and company, and we've since corrected it and made the restitution that we're supposed to do.
And how long ago was that?
August of last year.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And I believe there were some other concerns about some other of your other locations. Did you have any other issues at another location or anything? Okay.
I know that there was a personal thing where
It was a personal thing, I don't.
Okay.
where I used the wrong wording in one of my answers, and I was already working to correct the problem. However, I used past tense, and I made it seem like the problem was already corrected.
Okay. All right, there are two outstanding items. The first one is a proof of notification for the renewal. What you gave us were the years past notifications. We need to make sure that you do it every year. You notify the appropriate agencies so we can get updated information from them. And then a copy of your valid Colorado State license once you do receive it. And then the file will be complete. Department recommends renewal of this application.
Okay, thank you. And we have with us this morning Deputy Sterling Jenkins. Sterling, would you like to address this renewal? Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, thank you.
Good morning.
I have received several informal complaints in the area regarding light violation and smell violation, but upon my visits and being in the area, I didn't see any violations with light or odor. So no citations have been given to this OPC. Looking through the packet, I did see the same issues that Mr. Koch spoke to earlier regarding the two violation warning letters that you received in August and September. And on reviewing that packet, it looks as if those have been remedied. Any questions for me?
Questions?
I believe so.
Thanks for being here this
Thanks.
morning.
Sure.
All right. Anything you would like to add, Mr. Dwyer?
I apologize for being off on my dates.
Okay. All right. Commissioners? Your wishes? Comments?
Make a motion that we approve OPC 14-007 C3 for Colorado Springs LLC for a renewal of their OPC.
And does that motion include the two items for consideration?
Yes, thank you.
Second that.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve renewal of an OPC license for the property at 685 Highway 115, Unit B in Penrose, C3 Colorado Springs LLC. I simply would like to make the comment that I'm sure you understand people are watching you very, very closely, and they're expecting you to be a good neighbor in the Penrose area, and that includes the three sitting before you this morning. So please keep that in mind at all times. All right? Anything further? Roll call.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Final item of new business this morning, item 5, is the ratification of the chairman's signature on change order 29 for the Fremont County Justice Center kitchen and laundry remodel. And I will ask our county manager, Sunny Bryant, to address this, and I think she actually has some good news for a change.
I do. So this is the final change order in the project, and this is actually a credit. We returned some Cambro units that weren't used in the project, in the kitchen project. So the credit is for $14,685.63. So this is the final change order. The project is finished, and all of the notifications and everything have been done. The publication for final payment has been done. So we are finally done.
So
with
this is wrapping it
project.
up
Yes.
with this action this morning.
Yes.
What a
So
long
this is a good
process
way to
this has
end
been.
with
This is
a
wonderful
credit.
way to
Give
end.
money back.
Most change orders are not to the good of the financial bottom line.
And actually, so the total change orders for this project, and it was a $2.5 million project, and the net of the change orders was about $53,000. So I would say that's very good considering the unknowns of what we were looking at with this project, not knowing exactly what we were going to find digging into it. You know, a lot of the walls weren't quite what we had thought they were going to be. So I would say it's been a huge success out there.
Absolutely. There are issues that arise with any kind of a remodel, but something this large we expected and we had, but as Sunny said, they really weren't too bad. So, commissioners, comments?
No, it was a huge undertaking, and that's a pretty good deal to come out like we did on that. So it's a great thing. And with that, I move to ratify the chairman's signature on the change order number 29 for the Fremont County Justice Center kitchen.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to ratify this chairman's signature on change order 29 for the Fremont County Justice Center kitchen and laundry remodel. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And would you look at that? It is 10 o'clock, and you would think we had planned it like this. It's time to move into our first of 4 public hearings that are scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. So I first will call to order this public hearing for a request of a conditional use permit number 17-001. I believe it's pronounced Evoli Cobblestone Pit for a 10-year renewal request. Is that correct, Matt? Correct? Correct. Okay. And do we have with us this morning Mark Evoli? No. All right. Do we have any representative here from the company? Okay. I guess we will turn to Matt Cope for a staff report.
All right. They did make a complete application. All of the notifications, postings, and newspaper postings were made. The Planning Commission did recommend approval on May 2nd. There are 2 contingency items. The first is the site plan shall note that there will be no mining work conducted within the aquatic designated cutthroat trout habitat. Now, this is southeast of Florence, and this is kind of where we have some unique drainage ways and such, and so there's a endangered fish out in one of the creek areas, and so they showed it on their plans, and we want a note specifically on there, and that's what that represents. Number 2 is basically this will show up on the resolution. The Fremont County Department of Transportation is requesting gravel in the amount of 6% of the total production annually for the maintenance of County Road number 19. We had that written as 7, but it's actually 6% that they are requesting. The applicant is requesting waivers of the landscaping and buffering, the lighting, and the hard surfacing, and all the additional notifications were made. The department, after review, found this to be complete and meeting all of our guidelines and regulations, and we do recommend approval of this, and we will need a resolution number.
20.
Resolution 20.
Yep.
Okay, Matt, thank you for clearing that up between the 6 and the 7% question on road base going to the county, because I also saw in the reviewing the minutes from our planning commission where they approved this, at one point it was 6 and another point it was 7, and so I had that question for you this morning. So do you know, I also was looking at the contingency to stay away from that aquatic designated cutthroat trout habitat. Do you know approximately how far they are away? I was going to ask the applicant this question this morning, but they're not with us.
It shows, the floodplain shown. You can kind of see the squiggly line through there. They're actually located down in that area, and so right now they've stayed away from it considerably over the years they've already worked. And through their phasing and what have you, they'll stay away from it from a good portion of the rest of their use of the site. It's mainly just along the creek area, the floodplain area, and so they're already staying out of that because of the floodplain issues. So.
Okay, so you believe that they fully understand where they may and may not continue this operation?
Yes.
Right. I also would like to mention that the proposed number of trucks that will be hauled from the site is a maximum of 10 per day during daylight hours, and the proposed hours of mining, crushing, stockpiling, and other work in this pit are from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Questions for Matt at this time?
No, I had the same question you did.
Okay, I would like to ask if there's anyone in the audience this morning that would like to get up and address the board for this public hearing. Okay, seeing none, we will close the public hearing, and I will ask my fellow commissioners for their wishes.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve CUP 17-001, the Evoli Cobblestone Pit for a 10-year renewal. This is for the 2 contingency items that Matt mentioned. and that's a 6% total production for maintenance and not 7. And then approve the waiver request.
Would you like to mention those waiver requests?
Oh, the waiver request is for landscaping and buffering plan, lighting plan, and hard surfacing. And it's resolution number 20.
And just to clarify, this will be for the life of use
So it's just going to ask that question.
It will be
so-
life
Yes.
of
Life
use
of
instead
use.
of 10-year?
Yes.
instead of a 10-year.
Oh, okay. All right.
So with that correction of life of use, I second that.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve conditional use permit 17-001 for the Evoli Cobblestone Pit life of use, including the 2 contingency items as well as the waiver requests. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, next up, I will open a public hearing for the request of a special review use number 17-001 for Loco Mountain Outfitters. Do we have Jim Flynn with us this morning? Good morning, Mr. Flynn.
Good morning.
Would you like to step up and tell us what's happening out there?
Sure. I'm Jim Flynn. I'm owner and operator of Local Mountain Outfitters. We offer guided deer hunts and elk hunts and antelope hunts and mountain lion hunts in Fremont County and some over in Park County. We have 3 businesses in Colorado. We have Local Mountain Outfitters, the guided hunts. Actually, Keith Leonhardt and Dave Bunker are with me today. They've helped that business for many, many years. And we haven't had one of our hunters with us. I couldn't believe Pete's here today. See you, Pete. But anyway, we have a hunting business. We have a cattle business in Colorado. Dave Bunker and I are partners in Open Heart Cattle Company. And we have a farm down by La Junta that we raise alfalfa on. So we have 3 pretty good-sized businesses in Colorado. Local Mountain Outfitters, the item of discussion is a ranch house up on County Road 37. That ranch house is actually in a partnership of our family. Our parents passed that ranch and also a higher ranch up onto us back when they passed away. And there are 5 of us, so all that's in a partnership. The hunting business was started back in 2002. We've been doing this since 2002. Nothing's changed. And the hunting business was started for a lot of reasons, but one reason was to keep our ranches together. There was a lot of push in the family to maybe start subdividing some of it, take some money out of them, but by doing this, every hunter that comes in, there's some money goes to the family from it, and all that pressure's come off. They're all making a few bucks off the hunting business. We offer 5-day hunts. There are 2 the last half of September. That's muzzleloading and archery. We offer 4 rifle hunts. They're all 5-day hunts. And there are 2 of those in October and 2 of them in early November, and then we're done. So we're actually only operating about 2 months out of the year. And those are all 5-day hunts. We'll operate about 30 days out of the year. We offer at our ranch house there on County Road 37, the hunters sleep there, and we have a cook, Rhoda Rusher, a local person that does our cooking. We offer breakfast and dinner to the hunters, and then we have fixes there for them to take their own lunch out. So we're pretty much offered room and board there at our place. I don't know if you all know where County Road 37 is, but like most of you are shaking your head, you do. You go up Highway 50 to Texas Creek. About 3 miles further, there's County Road 37 cuts off the left. We're up there about a mile, and it's very quiet up there. I see maybe 2 cars a day go by, something like that. It's very quiet. Nobody knows we're there. But that's where our ranch house is. It was built back it's 80, 90 years old, so it's built back a long time ago. And I guess the only other I might add to all that is I'm from Colorado. I was raised in Colorado Springs, and I spend about 5 months a year right now in Colorado, and then the rest I also have a home in South Carolina, so I'm back and forth all the time, but I'm in Colorado quite a bit. And be happy to answer it. Our hunting's all pretty much in Fremont County and Park County. We have 2 private ranches, Local Mountain Ranch up by Wall Mountain, and we have a ranch over Highway 9 that we hunt on. We also have about 100,000 acres of federal land, BLM land, that we have the permits for, so we have lots of land to hunt. We have a very successful business. We have almost a 60% return on our hunters, so it's a very happy and good time business. Be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I am curious to know, from where do your hunters come? Are they coming in from other states, from any
Mostly.
states in particular?
Yeah, we got a Colorado hunter right there. But I'd say 90% of our hunters, maybe 95%, come from other states. Places like Wisconsin and Michigan are big. Texas is huge. So Mostly out of state, yeah, very few in state.
I have heard that Texas was the biggest state for folks coming into Colorado to hunt, so that kind of confirms
I
that
imagine
rumor.
Texas is our number one.
Okay.
What's your success rate?
I said, you must have been around hunters. You must have been around. Everybody asks those questions. Right now, for last year on elk, we're about 72%. Now that's success now is when they give them a shot. If they don't hit, okay. And on deer, we're about 88%, so we had a really good year on deer. We had get nice trophies. We got some big ones last year, so we have a lot of fun.
All right, anything further for Mr. Flynn at this time?
No.
All right, let's turn to Matt for a staff report.
All right, the applicant did make a complete application to us. He did provide all the notifications, posting of the property, and the article in the paper. There's one contingency item, and that's compliance with the requirements as stated in the letter from the Colorado Division of Water Resources. And basically that was transferring the well from a residential use to a commercial use. And I believe you are in the process of doing that.
Yeah, Kathy Trask sent me the forms to fill out. We filled them out. I scanned it back to her in Pueblo. She said they were fine. I sent it all to Denver maybe 2 weeks ago, but she said it will be approved. It might take 30 to 60 days to get it back to me, so it's okay.
Okay. And so they are asking for some waivers. The first waiver is the buffering and landscaping and the hard surfacing, the stormwater drainage report, the hard surface handicap parking space. This was reviewed by Don Moore, a county engineer, and he agreed that a stormwater plan wasn't required. They did make the additional notifications. Code enforcement did visit the site. There weren't any issues or code concerns with that. After review, the department does recommend approval of this application, and we will need a resolution number.
21.
All right, thank you. Okay, we will ask the audience at this time, do we have anyone who would like to stand to speak about this particular proposal? All right, sir.
I'm actually here for
Well, let me get you up to the microphone. Come on up. And after you've spoken, if you would take one of those slips of paper, fill it out, and hand it to our county clerk over here.
Hello, I'm actually here for another special request use permit. And the local mountains actually surprised me right here. But I've known Jim for a couple of years. I'm not 100% up to speed what his special request use permit is. But I know from hunting on his property, hunting with him, I'm actually also a Parks and Wildlife hunter ed instructor. I work with Bob Croce. So I know from a hunting perspective, Jim's outfit's always up to speed, and he does work with all the laws and law enforcement and Bob Croce and stuff. So personally, I don't have anything negative to say about his operations.
Top rate, that's what we'd like to hear.
Yeah,
All right,
so,
thank you so much
okay,
for speaking.
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we will close the public hearing at this time. Commissioners, further discussion, questions? Motion?
No, I don't have any more. I move that we approve the SRU, whoops, I'm on the wrong one here. No, I'm not. SRU 17001 for Local Mountain Outfitters with the contingency of the commercial well, which is in process, and with the waivers, which were, I forgot what they were.
Buffering and landscaping, hard surfacing, stormwater drainage report, hard surface, handicap parking space.
Yes,
Okay,
those
with
waivers.
Okay. Thought it would be quicker. than waiting
Resolution
and confinement.
21, yes.
All right, resolution 21.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve a special review use number 17-001 for Loco Mountain Outfitters with the contingency item and the waiver requests as submitted. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Up next is a request for a special review use 17-002 Deer Mountain Fire Protection District. This is seeking space for a garage to be built to store fire equipment. I believe we have with us this morning Representative Karen McKee. Look, she's ahead of me. There she is.
Good morning.
Good morning, Karen. Do you want to present to this board what's going on up there?
Sure. First, I would like.
Oh, I'm sorry. We need to open the public hearing. Thank you. We have so many of them. I'm having a hard time keeping track. Okay, thank you.
I'd like to thank you for adopting the Community Wildlife Protection Plan for Indian Springs. That hopefully will be helpful down the road.
Great.
So, kind of in conjunction with that, what we're looking to do is, in the past, we've always had a truck or two staged up in Indian Springs on this lot. It was a privately owned lot. In 2015, the county commissioners approved this lot to be zoned as a fire station, for fire station use. And last year, the lot was donated to Deer Mountain. So what we're looking to do is put up a new garage that can house a bit bigger truck. The building that's up there right now hardly has any insulation, and we can only get a little truck in there that holds around 250 gallons. With the new building, we'll be able to put in a bigger truck, up to 1,000 and possibly 2, and we can house it there year round. Before we had, sometimes we would have a big truck sitting there in the summer, but we would have to drain it and take it out of service in the winter months. So basically, we're just looking to put up a garage to house a fire truck and keep it warm and have an adequate water source ready to roll.
All right, thank you. Questions for Karen at this time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's turn to Matt for staff report.
All righty. The applicant did make a complete application. They did all the notifications, publications, and they did post a sign on the property. There are no contingency items. They are asking for waivers of the buffering and landscaping, the hard surfacing, the hard surface handicap parking space, and the lighting. They did do the additional notifications. Again, this lot was approved by the board as a waiver specifically for fire use on the property. Code enforcement did visit the site, found it to be compliant with all the regulations and codes, and after review, the application meets all of our regulations and codes as well. The department does recommend approval of this SRU, and we do need a resolution number.
22.
I have a quick question for you, Matt. In reviewing this voluminous mass in front of me, the additional notifications I see includes a notification to the City of Canyon City, the Water Department, and Bob Hartzman specifically, and I'm just curious as to why we notify the city for this.
The water drains to the river, and so the river feeds the City of Canyon City. And so it's a water source protection that we notify them so they can give us any concerns that they would have in protection of the water source. So,
Thank you. So do we ever hear back from them on
no,
this?
we haven't heard anything.
Okay.
We haven't had anything really that would be endangerment to the water source. So,
All right. I had the question, so I had to ask. All right. Anything else for Matt? Karen?
If I may, I would also like to request a waiver of the $1,800 application fee.
Do we have anything in writing for that?
no. I did ask her to come and voice that.
We typically do ask for something in writing with a justification for that.
Okay. Last one I did, you didn't do that, so I wasn't aware of that.
Did they waive the entire fee last time?
No, 50%.
50% is what I thought.
Yeah. I believe 50% is typical of what we generally do for this type of an application. Okay, I would like to just make a statement to you. And again, reviewing all of these, I came to Exhibit 5.1, which is a statement of operation that I'm believing you had written because I know you're the one who filled this form out. And I just would like to tell you that's probably the best operations statement I have ever read in this job. And you just did a fabulous, fabulous job. And I really, really wanted to let you know. I appreciate the work that you did and the thought that you have put into this. And it was really nice. So
Thank you.
I wanted to let you know
I
that.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay, do we have anyone who would like to speak up concerning this particular request? Okay, yes, sir, if you would please come to the microphone. And identify yourself for us, please.
Pete Sarchuk, I'm a resident up at Indian Springs. I'm also a volunteer firefighter for Deer Mountain, and I'm on the board of directors for Indian Springs. And this has been long coming. We've had the loss of structure 2 years ago in a wildland fire. And since then, we've beefed up to try to get a better building because we have to drain all the water. Our building's not big enough to put a real fire truck in. And the one we have now is probably not adequate for us. So getting a building up there, I think, would be go a long way for fire protection. And myself and Darren Anderson are full-time residents up in Indian Springs. So we'll be the ones that actually respond to calls. And I think the calls that we typically do run out of Indian Springs, we go silent. So I don't think the residents are going to hear like sirens all day long or anything like that. Because we do have a building already, and this would just be a better building for us. And I think one of our residents, Pernell, is there also. I'm not sure if she comes and speak or not. But, you know, this is a long time coming. A bigger, a better truck. We're not going to run sirens 24 hours a day to, quote, disturb the residents. But if there is a wildland fire up there, you know, the closest resource is Station 2 at Cotopaxi, and they're 8 miles away. And 250-gallon truck is not going to go very long for fire protection. You know, we're surrounded by BLM, and we also do calls to Spruce Basin, which is not in the district, but we do respond to calls in Spruce Basin. So I think by having a proper fire garage up there, you know, it's not going to help just but the Indian Springs residents, it's going to help everybody around the whole area. And I think on the communications that we put out to the other Indian Springs residents, you know, most everybody I know is for it. I don't know about anybody that's, you know, against fire protection. So,
Especially not with the wildfire seasons we've had here
I
in the
mean,
last few years.
everything is green right now, and in a week it could be brown. And we could be in a red flag warning overnight. So if we could just, you know, have a proper garage. Also, Deer Mountain's allowing Indian Springs to put our 250-gallon water tank in storage in there so we don't have to drain it. And then if we can, you know, we also might be burying the water supply up there too, so we don't have to drain our water tanks every year and stuff like that. So it's a, you know, it's a benefit for everybody.
Great.
In my opinion. So.
Okay, thank you. And did you fill out a form?
I'll fill out another one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to stand and speak? Come on up. Good morning.
Morning.
My name's Vanilla Ferguson, and I'm here much more in a commemorative spirit, really, because my husband, we started living full-time in Indian Springs in 2000, and my husband took over the fire department and got it going and got electricity and telephone and a radio tower put in. And we initially, when we first moved there, tried to have ourselves participate with the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District, but things were different back then and it wasn't possible. But he would have been so proud to see, unfortunately passed away over 2 years ago, but he would be so proud to see this happening today, because that was the best next thing to do, was to get a proper firehouse up there.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Anyone else? Okay, let's close this public hearing and ask my fellow commissioners if you have questions, comments, discussion, or a motion.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve SRU 17-002 for the Deer Mountain Fire Protection Fire Station number 3. I don't know if I've ever seen an SRU without contingencies. That's kind of different. Approve the waiver request for buffering and landscaping, hard servicing, hard service handicap parking space and lighting plan. And also approve the 50% waiver fee contingent on a written request to the Planning and Zoning Department. And this would be resolution number 22, right?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
I second that.
All right. It has been moved and seconded to approve SRU 17-002, special review use for the Deer Mountain Fire Protection District, including the waiver request as well as a 50% refund of the application fee. Further discussion?
No, I just appreciate what you guys do, and this is going to be good for the neighborhood and the whole area up there. So thank you.
Absolutely, and I would simply add to that, not in that area, but when I grew up, my own father was a volunteer firefighter and EMT for Penrose. And so I know kind of that lifestyle and how disruptive it can be, but we're very thankful that there are folks like all of you who are willing to do this work. So thank you. All right, I believe we are ready for roll call.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And our final, thank you so
you.
much. Our final public hearing for the day, we will open for a zone change 17-001, a Journey Quest zone change request. This is to request approval of a zone change from agricultural forestry to rural highway business for a parcel that's about 6.3 acres in size, located at the northwest corner of the intersection of US Highway 50 and Fremont County Road 27. Do we have Mark Anderson with us this morning? Good morning, Mark.
Good morning.
All right, you want to make a presentation? Let us know what you're hoping to do up there.
Yeah, well, let me tell you a little bit about our company first. We're a Christian company. We work a lot with youth groups that come in from other states. We got them coming in from as far as Mississippi and Illinois this year. When they come in, they stay for about a week. We camp them up at Sweetwater River Ranch, and I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with that, is right along the river. We operate as a rafting company like most of the other rafting companies on the river. We do rock climbing, we do backcountry trips up into the Sangre de Cristos with groups, and so that's just kind of a synopsis of what we are and what we do. Our whole premise is Christian based. We share the gospel with people, and so last year we found ourselves in a predicament where if you guys are, I'm sure most of you are, Barry's Restaurant, we're located right behind them. And the Berries were looking to sell their restaurant. Well, they had somebody who was looking to buy it, and they were not interested in keeping any tenants behind them because it's zoned for 2 businesses. They just wanted to do away with any business behind them, and that was going to leave us homeless. And so we started looking at options as to where we could go from that point. And the person that we bought the business from, Dwight Grant, is here with me. He owns the property that's in question right now that we're asking the zone change for. We started looking at his property and see if we could build a building that would adequately fulfill our needs. And one of the other things that we're finding is we're one of the smaller companies on the river, but we are growing. And the facility behind there is now starting to become a little too small for us as far as trying to fit 50 people in a 10 by 15-foot office. And so we're just needing to not only that kind of move the thought process along about moving, we're starting to grow a little bit bigger and needing a bigger space. And that's the building. You guys see that plan in front of you.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Questions for Mr. Anderson at this time?
No.
We'll turn to Matt for staff report.
All righty, the applicant did make a full application. They are rezoning from ag forestry to rural highway business, which rural highway business is the same zone as the restaurant across the street. So it will be a matching zone with that. There are 2 contingency items. The first one is compliance with any requirements from the Colorado Department of Transportation. And they are working through that. We get emails probably every hour from CDOT letting us know where things are at.
Okay.
So things are proceeding through them. So, and then the second is compliance with the requirements from the Fremont County Department of Transportation. The Fremont County Department of Transportation has requested 2 items. One is a driveway access permit. The second is for a 2-inch overlay of County Road 27 from Highway 50 to the bridge. Planning Commission did hear this on May 2nd. They discussed it. The applicant did request that to be waived. Planning Commission did recommend waiving of that requirement. I spoke with our Director of Department of Transportation. He said he could kind of go either way. The road's not in bad shape, but it could be soon, and so that was one of the requirements for trying to get that paved at this time, was to protect it for the future use there. They are asking for a waiver of the buffering and landscaping and hard surfacing. They did make all the notifications. They did post the property and publish this in the paper. And we will need a resolution number.
183.
And the department, after review, does recommend approval of this zone change.
Okay, thank you, Matt. I also would like to address the Department of Transportation's request for a 2-inch overlay on that portion of the road. I also had a conversation with the director, Tony Adamic, just this morning, and he also explained to me that it's not in terrible shape right now, but his concern is that there could be additional traffic coming in, and that within a very short time the road will need maintenance because of this particular business. I also continued looking through the application, and what I'm seeing here is that you would expect about 21 vehicles per day, only 180 days out of each year. Is that sounds correct?
Yeah, we're a seasonal operation.
Okay. And do you run buses of any type?
We have 2 buses.
And what kind of buses are those? Are they,
One's a 65 passenger and the other's 72.
so they're large buses?
Yes.
And how often do those buses run?
On average, probably 3-4 times a week.
Okay. Okay, I would like to just make the statement and make it perfectly clear in this public hearing that if this board does choose to waive that 2-inch compacted asphalt overlay, that if the road continues to deteriorate and very quickly becomes in bad condition, that our Department of Transportation will be contacting you to discuss with you some sort of an arrangement to perhaps help pay to fix that road for the folks who use it. Okay? I just want to make that certainly clear.
Yeah, I think that was one of my concerns also, because you just stated that it's a growing company, and good for you. I hope it continues to grow, but if that does become a problem there, with that road wearing out a lot quicker than the use that it's currently taking, then it'll be...
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
There is a couple other companies that use that road, and my question would be, would they help?
I believe
that?
so, yes. I believe so.
So the whole burden of paving that road wouldn't just be on our backs?
I believe that's correct, yes. We would try to share the responsibility equally. Okay? All right, anything else at this time before I open it up for public comment?
No.
Okay, thank you. I will ask the audience at this time if we have anyone who would like to get up and speak concerning this zone change request. All right, nothing from anyone? Okay, we will close the public hearing at this time, and I will ask if the gentlemen have questions, issues, discussion,
No,
or a motion.
Yeah, the only question I had was on that 2-inch overlay, so that's what I had. So go ahead.
Okay, so...
Too many things. Sorry.
We're having
I'm
issues.
not trying to wreak havoc. I'm doing it anyway, but I'm really not trying.
I move that we approve zone change 17001 for Journey Quest, changing the request from agriculture forestry to rural highway. With this also, there is contingencies from Colorado Department of Transportation. With that, I move that at this time that we waive the 2-inch overlay requested by Fremont County Department of Transportation, with the statement being made that in the future there may be possibly help needed from you to repave that road from the impact. Also waiving the buffer, hard surface and landscaping. That would be resolution number 23.
But leaving in place the requirement to submit the driveway access permit as required from the Fremont County Department
Yes.
of Transportation. Okay, make that clear.
Second.
And we need justification.
Oh, yes, and justification for that zone change is the property was not properly zoned when existing zoning was imposed. Additional land is needed in the proposed zone district, and the proposed zone change will be in confirmation with the comprehensive or master plan of the area.
Second.
All right, thank you. I think we've included everything here.
I think so.
All right, so the motion is to approve Resolution 23, a zone change request, number 17-001, from agricultural forestry to rural highway business for the intersection, these property located here at this intersection as described above. The motion does include contingency item 1, compliance with item 1 in the Fremont County Department of Transportation letter, as well as the waiver requests and justifications A, B, and D as noted. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I believe with that, we are adjourned.
Good luck to you guys. We'll pull that new paper off for me.
You knew you had to do it.
Well, you know we're going to hug it out. You know we're going to hug it out.
Doesn't mean that I should need you guys as a citizen.
We certainly do expect that we will be safer.
And really in trouble.
Right?
I've got gloves are off. Anyway, Brenda, thank you.
Good luck to you in whatever you do next. It's been lovely working with you.